Welcome to another episode of the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum, TIF, and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Today's series is The Emerging Lawyer. Theme is In the Courtroom, Balancing Law and Life. Today's speaker is Shatrajit Banerji, partner designate at Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas. He has got vast experience in energy law, arbitration, insolvency, and general corporate litigation. So, so Satrajit, welcome to today's Coffee Corner episode. Just wanted to explain to you the format. We have got two rounds, which you will be aware, but there's a third round. That is a surprise rapid fire round.
Okay.
For that, you have to answer quickly, wittily, and funnily, and you get to win this ebook, Top 6 Microsoft Word Tips for Lawyers.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So, friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani over here, host at Coffee Conversation, and a legal tech evangelist, author of 13 ebooks. So, Satrajit, once again, welcome on. It's raining over here, and we are enjoying the weather. I hope. How's the climate in Delhi?
Actually, incidentally, Lion, I'm in Bombay itself. I have been in Bombay for a while. So, as I look out of the window of my conference room over here, I can only see rain. So,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
also enjoying the rain quite a bit right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Thank you for having me on the show today. And I hope we can have a good conversation.
yeah. Satrajit, my first question. What motivated you to pursue a career in law, particularly arbitration, energy, and dispute?
So, Lion, I have actually been wanting to do law since I was a child.
Hmm.
And so there has been a little bit of a family background in terms of legal professionals in a family. And that sort of motivated me to take up law actually at a very young age, around when I was 12 or 13 years of age. And gradually I started uh, exploring more and more. And there were certain influences in terms of my elder brother, who's also a lawyer. He also guided me, so I could see what uh, the legal fraternity and the legal profession entailed. And I initially started off my career as a disputes lawyer, a litigation lawyer, and I started my career with the Additional Standing Counsel for Delhi, and then slowly I moved on to a former Supreme Court judge, Justice Vikramjit Sen, as his arbitral tribunal secretary. And finally, I came into Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas. And now, having been in disputes for upwards of 7, 8 years, I've also started going into a different area of law for the past few years, which is Fintech and FSRP, that is financial services regulatory practice of the firm. So I am actually a disputes lawyer as well as a fintech and an FSRP lawyer, tech lawyer as well. So I have pivoted, keeping my disputes, uh, roots in ground, and I'm also doing the FSRP and fintech related work.
Okay, that's good thing. You have established your niche areas of dispute, fintech, FSRP. I think so. FSRP is something new niche area which has come up. Am I correct?
So it's been there for a long time. The financial services practice has been there. So it's advising different entities from a regulatory perspective,
Okay,
like your Reserve Bank of India, Securities Exchange Board, SEBI, IRDAI, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority. So
okay.
it's from that perspective. So you would be any regulated activity in India,
Mhm.
the implications of the master circulars and the legislations that are passed on businesses, particularly, and also consumers for that matter. What impact it has, and how can you structure your products? How do you set up an entity which undertakes a particular line of service. For example, the entire online payment systems that are there for a UPI or the Google Pay that a person uses. So that is all covered under the Fintech slash FSRP practice of the firm.
Yes, because this term is not being used by many FSRP, with fintech mostly has been more common word used. But thank you for bringing this new term during this conversation. Uh, so now, Shatrajit, what are the changes which has come in FSRP and vis-a-vis fintech, which you have since taken up from your time, and how do you address those changes in your work areas?
So when we talk about financial services practice, regulatory practice, it encompasses a gamut of an entire range of regulations, which include the Banking Regulation Act, the RBI Act, your various master circulars and master directions and guidelines issued by the RBI. That's on the RBI side of it. On the banking side of it, then you have your SEBI-related legislations that are issued from time to time. Then you have your insurance-related regulations that are issued from time to time. When we see it's an ever-evolving industry, it's so you have different regulations that are coming up for banks, different regulations that are coming up for the fintech entities and players. One of the key regulations that actually came out recently was the self-regulatory organization framework that for fintechs. There are other SRO frameworks, as they call it, for other entities. For example, there's an omnibus framework as well, that include NBFCs and banks. Now, when you talk about the SRO framework for fintechs, which is one of its kind that has been published by the RBI, which calls for specific such regulatory organizations, self-regulatory organizations to govern the ecosystem, the fintech ecosystem. And what the RBI and what the regulator is trying to do over here is that to delegate some of the regulatory oversight to such SROs, which may be actually sector specific. So the guidelines actually contemplate multiple SROs depending on the nature. And it also makes it mandatory for a fintech player to come and become a member of such an SRO. And interestingly, for the first time in this SRO guidelines, for the first time has defined the concept and the meaning of fintech. So that is one. Then there have been regular changes in terms of your payments regulations. You have the account aggregation, the payment aggregation, master circulars and directions that are issued. There is, last year, there was the entire payment aggregation cross-border circular that came in that governs how you can do online payments cross-border between India and a different entity, sorry, different country altogether. And then there was the physical payments aggregation framework that was issued last year in terms of, rather actually this year itself, in April of this year. That is a clarification that's come in. So there are a number of regulations that keep on coming in, that keeps us on our toes on a regular basis. So that is what is happening.
Wow. So now I want to congratulate you, Shatrajit. You're being promoted as partner designate. So how has your role evolved right from the day you joined and now you now partner designate at Cyril at CAM?
So, so when I had joined CAM, I was a third year associate. So, and that was in 2018. And 6 years down the line, I have, with the blessings of my partners and my senior management, Anu Tiwari and Pallavi Singh Rao, including Mr. Shroff, Mrs. Shroff, and the entire senior leadership, I have been given this huge honor of partner designate. So it's been quite a journey, and it has been difficult, to say the least, but it's been quite rewarding because I have learned quite a bit along the way. I have made great relationships within and outside the firm. And it has helped me evolve as a person and as a professional.
Wow. So now, Shatrajit, my next question will be any particular case where you had to navigate the complexities of both arbitration and corporate litigation?
So there was a case, typically in terms of arbitration, there was a shareholding disputes case where we had proceedings that were going on before the NCLT, as well as there was an arbitration proceeding as well. So, and there were a number of parties that were involved, and the details of the case is a little confidential. So, I will not get into too much of details of it. But there, in such cases, you had a number of stakeholders, the client being one, and the other stakeholders were the counterparties who were there. So navigating that and going through the financials of the entire dispute and coming up with a solution for that was a quite a big challenge. But we did well, and that was great.
Wow, that's good. So now, Shatrajit, in a dispute resolution case, what are the key points one has to focus on?
Sorry, could you repeat
I'll
that?
just repeat my question. In a dispute resolution case, what a legal professional should focus on, what are the key points he has to focus on while preparing his case matters so that there is outcome comes accordingly favorable?
Understood. So firstly, in terms of a dispute resolution case, a litigation case, it depends on what is the nature of the dispute. So my first is that you should always get the facts and get all possible facts that are available from the client and all documents, relevant documents from the client. And then basis that you prepare sort of a factual picture and see how different components are moving around. Basis this factual picture, you will have to identify certain issues and issues which are in contention, which are disputed, which are pain points. And basis those issues, you should do your legal research. Again, the legal research would be dependent on the facts and the actual law laid down. And once you have that, then you go into the drafting bit of it, then you go into the preparing of arguments bit of it, and then actually arguing the matter.
Wow. So now, Shatrajit, you have worked with senior counsels on constitutional and commercial matters. So how has this experience been and how has it impacted in your career also?
So we have briefed a number of senior counsels and we regularly brief them, and it's always a learning experience for briefing counsels. We go in with full preparation, knowing each and every document, each and every case law that is relevant. But sometimes the senior counsel brings in that perspective of approaching an issue and approaching a situation slightly differently, which gives you an understanding that, oh yes, I can also look at it from this perspective. And more so in such situations, you get to learn quite a bit from and looking at a problem statement from another angle and another perspective. Because at times when we get into a matter, we make up our minds after we've read the documents and we've had the client conversations. So sometimes it gets a little pigeonholed. Having briefed a number of counsels, you get these inputs that should look at it from this perspective, do some case law research on this aspect. And more often than none, while the judge would ask you questions on points that you have prepared, but they will also, more often than none, pick up the points that the senior counsel has picked up and discussed in the conference the previous day.
Wow. So now, going to your profile, Shatrajit, you have been actively part of a team which works on creating blogs, different types of content on legal topics. So I'm a little curious, having too many things on your plate. How did it start, and how has your experience been in content creation?
So again, I am not a one-man army. I have a very competent team who supports me. I have a very competent and very able leadership who guides me. So when we do content creation and we write blogs, there is research that goes in, there is drafting that goes in, and the associates, they are tremendous in their research skills and tremendously skilled in their drafting. And we, as one of the seniors, so like you would give them a general direction, having known that these are the points that need to be covered. They would come to me with their draft. I would give my inputs and get further inputs from my seniors as well, because I may have not considered a particular angle or considered a particular way to approach it. So it's a team effort. Long and short, it's a team effort, and balancing blog writing, conducting sessions for clients, conducting webinars, along with day-to-day cases that we handle, projects that we do, transactions that we do. It's a team effort. So there is no long and short, no other way that someone can do so much.
Yeah. Team effort. Like how we are doing now this conversation, to a lot of team effort, back and forth research, everything. So
Correct.
team plays a critical role for delivering, and but being part of that team, like I'm very happy to be part of the coffee team. Likewise, will be also happy to be a part of the content blogs, researching, adding value for the readers over there. So I read one of your blogs. It was impressive, well researched, well written, and thought provoking. So that's why this question came up.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you.
So my next question will be, there are too many things happening with the areas which you work in. So how do you keep abreast of the latest developments in the law?
So there are a couple of ways that I personally employ, which I'm sure a number of other people would also do. So one is I would read the daily newspaper. That is one thing, because I will come to the reason why I do these things at the end of my answer. I read two newspapers on a daily basis, which is Economic Times and the Hindu. Second, I also read The Economist on a regular basis. Third is I have pop-up notifications for legal updates that are linked to Bar and Bench and other online platforms like Live Law. Third is that I also, the fourth, look at these daily updates that our internal knowledge management team circulates. And lastly, discussions with my colleagues, my associates, my peers. And that's how we keep updated on the law and updated on what's happening. And coming back to my original point of reading newspapers, when we read the law, we also need to read the law in a practical and in a more holistic manner. So we also need to understand what's happening around the world or around a particular country, around a particular area, so that we understand or try to create links as to why something happens.
So that's interesting. So my next question, Satyajit, for you will be, how has technology helped you in your career and which legal tech tool has impacted in your work?
So actually there are a number of tools that we use. So I'll categorize it in some buckets. So you have your original tools that we've been using for a number of years now, like FCC, Manupatra, the different search engines, which sort of makes legal research, case law research much, much easier than it was many years ago. Then you have certain softwares and applications such as Liquid Text, which makes annotations and court work notations very easy. And we've also moved on from carrying physical files to a completely digital era. So there, we don't need to carry bulky files anymore. We can just carry our iPad or a tablet and use Liquid Text on that. Then we've also used a number of AI-driven softwares in terms of document review or document editing and formatting, all of that. Then we also use Workshare Compare, which is it's a fabulous tool to use for comparing different documents and different versions of a document to understand what are the edits and all of that is being made. So these are the broader tools that we use, and it has increased our output tremendously. And with AI becoming more and more prevalent and different thinkers coming into the legal tech industry, I'm sure there will be more products on the way to help us.
Yeah, very true, very true. AI has revolutionized each industry, not only legal, but it has impacted different industries. You can name it, they have a role over there. But we have to use it properly to get the right output, right results. So my last question, Shatrajit, for your professional journey round will be, what advice would you give to young lawyers aspiring to specialize in fintech and FSRP laws?
So one is that focus on tracking how regulators and how the different regulations that come about, keep tracking, keep reading, keep updating yourself on that. Second is keep a track on the industry as well, in terms of the players, the entities which are coming up, what kind of products they're coming up with, whether it's a wealth tech product, whether it is a payments product, whether it is a crypto product or VDSP product, and keep a track of how they market and use their product and actually use the particular application or product so that you have a working understanding of it, and then try to correlate the two, regulation as well as the product. This will give you a better understanding without having, so just gives you a feel of what needs to be done when an actual client comes in and asks you, oh, I'm doing this and this is the regulation. Am I in the clear or am I not?
Wow. So let's move on to our knowing Shatrajit as a person. So, Shatrajit, my first question will be tell us something about a family and your formative years.
So I was born and brought up in Calcutta. I went to a pretty decent school, St. Xavier's. I did my undergrad also in Jadavpur University. And then I moved to Delhi after many years in Calcutta. And my Delhi has been home for me for the past 12 years before I moved to Bombay this year itself. And it's been a great journey. It's been a very long, laborious journey, which is bearing fruits. And I expect it to be more and more challenging, which is always a good thing. In terms of my background, my parents, my father is a chartered accountant. My mother was a former teacher. Now she's a homemaker. My brother is a lawyer in Singapore, and I have a sister-in-law as well. She's also a lawyer in Singapore. So, and we've had a number of persons of different walks of life, different professions rather. For example, my uncle is a doctor, my cousins are scientists, marketing agents, and my forefathers were, rather, my grandfather was also in the education industry, in the sense that Directorate of Education in Delhi, and we had a couple of judges also in our family long back.
Wow, impressive family with an impressive educational background and pursuits. So coming to pursuits, what hobbies or activities you enjoy doing and you have developed something different from your childhood in the later years?
So, in terms of hobbies and activities, I think I always loved swimming. So that's one. I love playing football. In terms of sports, these are the two things that I've really enjoyed since I was a child. And I've always been a big fan of music. And for the past few years, I've been learning a few instruments, and let's see if that has been keeping me happy on my personal front. So that is somewhere, so that is an area which I'm developing apart from my professional career.
Wow. So now, Shatrajit, let's recap your memories at Faculty of Law, Delhi University.
Oh,
the dates.
Okay, that was a while ago, but it was a great experience. So coming from Calcutta, it was different. One was the heat. Delhi was quite hot. It's still very hot, but that was, I got accustomed to it quite quickly. I met people from different walks of life and different cultures, which sort of broadened my horizon to a great extent. Initially, I would say that I may have been a little distant, but now having interacted with them during the college time, we've had shared experiences, and our bond has never been stronger. So I've made quite a few friends in law faculty who I continue to cherish as long-term friends. And it was a great experience. Like, I would say it's a combination of I don't know if you know that there's a concept of dukkis, uh, going through those books before exams, sneaking out of class to go have chole bhature or a banta, as they call it, uh, along with the bhatures. So it was a very good experience. Good people, helpful people, and great faculty. I still remember my contracts classes, uh, which was conducted by Mr. Raman Mittal, and it was one of the most engaging classes that I have attended in law school.
Wow, a lot of good memories. So Satrajit, how do you stay connected with your friends and family despite your busy schedule?
Actually, that's one of the complaints against me, that I am not. I don't stay connected all that well. But I'm actually making a conscious effort to keep in touch with my friends and family. So every day, uh, at least I would text my parents and just good morning, good night, general chit chat. We have our family WhatsApp groups, our friends WhatsApp groups. So we keep on interacting. I would be away for a while, then suddenly come in, and I keep in touch as and when I can, actually, which I'm working on. It's still a work in progress, and I think I'll get back to you on a better answer to that question.
Yeah. I would love to another round of conversation over real coffee. Since you're in Mumbai, so we would meet over. So my next question will be: you have what do you say? Been in three cities: Kolkata, Delhi, and now Mumbai. Mumbai is a little brief. So how has the experience been in the three cities?
So I think it's each city, I think, has its own charm and its own advantages, disadvantages. And I feel that I can call all three cities home, and which not many people would do or would be in a position to do. But I feel, in terms of Calcutta, was my childhood love and my home when I was growing up. Delhi has been my home for my professional growth and my later years. And I see Mumbai being the next phase in my life,
Yeah.
which hopefully will be a upward trajectory and a good next chapter.
Yes. Mumbai, Bombay has lots in terms of what do you say, food, creative pursuits, drama, so many things. Which
Oh, yes.
There is Bengal Association, there is Kalimaka Mandir near Shivaji Park, which you should visit. I've been there at this Kalimaka Mandir, which is one of the prominent places which Bengalis visit, and there is next door, there is the Bengal Association. You should go.
Different.
Lots to explore in Mumbai.
Yes, yes. It's a huge city. I love the vibe. I've always loved the pulse of it. The traffic needs a little bit getting used to. Rains also, I need to get used to it. I've not seen this much of rain in Delhi for the past 12 years. So it's going back to my roots of Calcutta, where it is to rain cats and dogs, for lack of a better word.
Wow. So Shatrajit, you have a keen interest in public speaking. So how do you prepare for a public speaking thing which you want? What are the preparation for public speaking one should focus on?
So, in terms of public speaking, again, growing up, I was not exactly one of the forerunners who would raise their hands for debates or public speaking opportunities like extempore or elocution. But we did have certain training in terms of elocution and public speaking. But I was always quite shy at that time. Still am to an extent. But what I generally do is that I've had to work quite a bit to become comfortable, and it's a journey. It's taking one step at a time and trying to resolve the primary impediment or the hindrance in public speaking, which is fear, which is looking at the crowd and feeling afraid of what I'm saying and how people would react. So to do this, to for any sort of assignment, public speaking assignment, whether it is arguments in court or this conversation, generally what I would do is prepare, right? Know your subject, know what are the points and what are the issues that you want to speak about, and be thoroughly prepared on that. Second is make and rather practice uh, in front of the mirror or in your head at times, uh, to just get your thoughts in order, write what you do, repeat in your head, repeat in front of the mirror, uh, talk out loud at times in the room. And third is to just take a step back, breathe, and relax, and then let the speaking do all the talking.
Wonderful tips, wonderful tips. So let's recap a memorable travel experience, Satyajit, you had recently.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
A memorable travel experience which you had recently.
Memorable traveling experience that I had recently. So I was it. This is not recent, but it was quite a while back. It was about 7, 8 years back. I had just joined the profession, and I was traveling to this place called Spiti Valley, and it was a bus ride to the hills, and then you have to go towards Spiti. So in the middle, I think 2 hours into the ride, 2 hours into the bus journey, the bus broke down, and we were stranded in the middle of nowhere. And we made best with what we could do at that time, and we lost a lot of ground, and we ultimately reached the location. I think Manali, I think it was Manali itself, where we had missed all the connecting transportation to the Spiti Valley, and we were looking for different uh, cab persons to take us there, and nobody wanted to go, only because there were only three of us who were traveling, and they wanted 6 people. And in that search, we came across 3 other people, and we like, we want to go to Spiti, and like we also want to go. They were also saying that we also want to go to Spiti. And incidentally, those 3 persons happened to be of the same college as one of our common friends. So we became a group, an ad hoc group on that trip. And we went, not only did we go to Spiti together, but we stayed there together and we roamed around and went to different places in and around that place. So meeting strangers who were actually friends of friends and becoming friends, that was a good experience.
Wow. Wow. So now, one more googly question. From your bucket list, what would you like to do in this remaining 6 months of 2024?
What I would like to do, there are a number of things I would like to do actually. So my focus for the next 6 months is actually uh, getting to know Bombay and getting to get the feel of Bombay and delving into our culture over here, our office over here, building relationships. And also, I have a little bit of travel in mind, which I hopefully will be able to do. And just keep doing what I'm doing right now. So I think that's my aim for the rest of the year.
Wow, wow. So, my last question for you, Satrajit. Describe Satrajit in one line.
Uh, Hardworking, soft spoken, and dependable. I guess.
Wow.
3 words, but I guess you can make it into one line.
Yeah. So so now let's move to the fun round, the rapid fire round. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Let's raise a toast.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers. You're an early bird or a night owl?
I wake up early, I go to sleep late. So I burn the stick at both ends. I don't sleep much.
Wow. Books or podcast?
Books.
Okay. Formal wear or casual wear?
Formal wear.
Plane or train?
Sorry?
Plane or train?
Plain.
Your favorite cuisine?
Chinese.
Okay. Your favorite color?
Black.
Your favorite music?
Hard rock. Rock,
Wow.
actually. Not hard rock.
Wow. So you did well, and you get this book authored by me, and it will be, what do you say, autographed. It will be delivered to your place. So, friends, it was a lovely conversation which we had with Satrajit. He's in Mumbai enjoying the rains. This is his third home stay, and we welcome you to Amchi, Mumbai, Bombay. We'll have the good time over here. And it was a lovely conversation we had with Satrajit Banerji, and we would want him to enjoy his stay, have good memories of Mumbai, and a lot of conversation which we had. He shared a lot of insights on fintech, on FSRP. Do watch this episode when it's published on the Coffee Conversation Show on YouTube, where there are over 150 plus episodes with different subject speakers and topics. We look forward to another guest speaker. If you want to be a guest speaker, do visit our website, theemergingindiaforum.com, and fill in the form, and a team will be connect with you and invite you to be a guest speaker. So enjoy your stay, stay safe, and be happy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you.